Welcome to Lunch Break. We get an hour lunch, so we're spending 15 minutes of it each day to talk about whatever. So, let's begin the week. Lunch break.
Lunch break.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
It's the beginning of the week.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. How's work going for you?
I don't know. I mean, I've turned in a bunch of stuff, but like the thing I'm working on right now, I've just been kind of in limbo. Like,
No boss today?
No, she's there. I just don't have. She just wasn't there when I needed her. It was like a really inconvenient moment.
I think I was listening to the last episode, and I was getting, because you had no boss in the last episode, and I was getting confused with today.
No, no, she's there, but she won't be there the rest of the week. I think for like the next 3 days, which is probably gonna suck.
Where's she going? I guess vacation.
No, she's going to like training for something. I don't know.
Nice. Work is going fine for me. Just a normal day. Lots of errors.
Nice. Yeah.
Pretty typical.
Yeah. And then this weekend we watched The Way the Wind Blows. So we did talk about that we were going to watch it last week.
Yeah, we did.
But we didn't. I didn't really know anything about it. But that was a very good and also depressing movie.
Very intense movie.
Yeah. I liked it.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
I mean, again, it was really depressing, but it was cool. It felt very like self-aware. You know, especially for when it came out, like as to how confusing shit was for them.
You mean like
well, the pamphlets and everything.
Oh yes. They did, like in the movie there was the bit where they like had two different pamphlets. I think they had one from like the London government, which was like the one that everyone knows about, Protect and Survive.
Right.
But then they also had like a little blue pamphlet, which was probably a reference to like one of the local county pamphlets that were sent out.
Yeah. And I mean, it was just cool that they were like very openly acknowledging like, yeah, this kind of sucked. It was kind of confusing. They seemed to cover like many of the different weird little sets of instructions. And yeah, like all the little radiation references and stuff in there.
Oh yeah. It was kind of like I was reading into like an inspiration for the movie, and a lot of the inspiration comes from the Protect and Survive film that they made.
Right.
So a lot of like the scenes from the movie are like direct recreations from that film.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Also, when we were talking about it before, I was aware, like we were talking about the music, and I knew that like freaking what's his face did the main song for it.
David Bowie.
Yeah, but I saw that Roger Waters was all over it, but it seems like he just did, and the reason why I couldn't find anything for it still seems weird. Still feels like I should be able to find that, but he just did like instrumentals, so it was like a lot of just like ambient music and stuff for it,
and like a lot of the sound effects.
Yeah.
So like whenever there was like I remember the one scene where like the teacups flying through the air and it hits the wall, there's like a little guitar riff that goes with it. I love the sound design in the movie. It's all, especially like the pre-apocalyptic scenes.
Yeah.
Not to mention the David Bowie song. That one, I've been listening to that song all day. It's like a killer. But I don't know, just everything about it, all the sound of the birds and the lamb, the couple talking, how realistic and grounded the couple felt.
Right. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
How scary it was after the apocalyptic scenes, like with the dead grass and the purple skies.
Yeah.
Or one of the little touches I really liked was like directly after the blast went off, whenever they're going to bed, they zoom in the direction of London and the sky is like as bright as daytime and pulsing.
Huh.
Because at that point, there would probably be a firestorm going on in London, which probably would look kind of like that.
Huh. I didn't know that. I didn't even notice that. Like,
there's tons of little tiny details in the movie. I watched the movie again over the weekend, so
right.
I kind of have a few of those little details in mind.
Huh. Oh, what? Like, I
well,
don't know.
Of course, the firestorm, like I mentioned, but stuff like the different pamphlets that he was reading.
I know the grass was weird or something. I know that like it turned white from the radiation and everything.
Yeah, or how like all the trees looked withered and blasted. Like a big thing it reminded me of like is if you look at footage from like a city after a tornado sweeps through or after a hurricane sweeps through,
right?
And you just like look at a basic field that has no trees or anything with it, the grass and everything looks all like windswept and blown away.
Right.
Everything had that kind of appeal, but it was also like toxic.
Yeah, man. it was cool. I'm glad we watched that. I also only just found out today, completely change of topic, that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 is coming out.
No, yes, very exciting.
And that actually, it's kind of screwed me up because apparently that was announced, like people knew about that months ago. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's my first time hearing about it too.
It was already on Steam for pre-order with the deluxe edition, and you could like download it and shit, and I had no idea it was even there. Dude, that's made my entire week. It's going to be like 8 weeks before it actually comes out. I already bought it. I already pre-installed it. I am like, it's one of those games where like the 1 and 2, the remaster they did for 1 and 2 was so freaking awesome that I was like, I'm no matter what, I'm gonna buy this because I don't have those games on PC. You can't get them really on PC. You could probably like emulate them or something, yeah. But like, holy crap, I am so excited to play freaking like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 specifically on PC. And like on the Steam Deck.
Couch co-op is going to be fucking amazing.
Going to be amazing. We were just talking about Tony Hawk like a few days ago on the or like a few weeks ago on the podcast. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but talking about how cool it would be able to play 4 out here, and now that's going to be a thing, which I am so excited. The soundtrack is going to be in there, but apparently they changed the soundtrack. They've added new stuff to it. And the deluxe edition comes with like extra soundtrack options. I went ahead and got the deluxe edition because I really I wanted it. Like the deluxe edition also comes with like a playable Doom character, so you can like play as the Doom guy.
Oh, I thought you said Dune.
No, that would be weird. But I guess it wouldn't be that
grinding some.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, Doom is also weird, so I guess it's not that out of the question.
Timothy Chalamet like doing some ollies.
Yeah. But dude, I am so excited. It's gonna be amazing. We haven't even done any co-op games out here. We've never done it.
I know, we need to.
Like,
it could be the first one.
Yeah, it's kind of killing me. Like, there's a lot of games. I'm honestly like I haven't even had the Steam Deck set up out here for like days. Since we came back from Cincinnati, I've just not set it up because we haven't really played anything.
Lots of Diablo and Foxhole.
Yeah, mostly Diablo and Foxhole. But now that I know that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 is going to come out for remaster, I really, really, really want to set it up out here so I can play 1 and 2. Because I really just want to like get the vibe of playing like Tony Hawk out here for a little while.
It's 1 and 2 co-op, like couch co-op?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but 3 and 4, I don't know that much about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, to be honest. I don't think I must have played it, but I don't think I really played it. But 4, I remember like the multiplayer was so much fun. Plus, there's like the whole you can like build your own custom skate parks and shit.
The level editing is amazing.
And I remember the maps, you couldn't build that wide, but you could build really tall and stuff, and you could like play around. But that and the co-op for like just being able to play horse in the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 maps is going to be so fun. Like, I'm insanely excited about that. But yeah. And then we also just how
did the level editing like work? Because I remember being able to like download maps, but were those like uploaded, or were they just like created by like the dev team or something?
So I was never able to download maps because I never had I had it on PS2 and I never had my PS2 connected to the internet. But you could. So I'm only assuming here, but basically you could create your own custom ones. So I assume you had the option after creating your map to make it public or not, and then it would just go to a community download like page. But like I remember I did create maps, but most of the time it was just like to mess around in. I remember as a kid, I wished so badly that you could get off your skateboard in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Like skate.
Like skate, or in Tony Hawk Underground. And Tony Hawk Underground, you can also like get off your skateboard. So you can like do like running in, so you can like run into a ramp and then jump onto your board and then go down it. It just wasn't a thing in 4. But I would always build like little custom maps and then just sort of like go around them slowly and explore them, like make little lore for myself in them. Be like, this is like a little house and this is like whatever.
And here's the lava pits outside.
Yeah. But oh, dude, I am very excited about that. That's gonna be so freaking cool. That's literally made my day. I am so hyped. You said you were. This is off topic again. You said you were listening to the podcast earlier today, and you set it to 0.75, and it sounded like we were drunk.
Yeah, I listened to the thing you sent me on Discord, like the first 5 minutes, and then it came on thing, and I was like, I didn't want to skip through it. I'll just put on fast speed, and the first one was 0.75, and immediately like I was like, holy fuck, everyone was just like talking like
yeah. If you want to like change it to drunk mode, that's what you do. You go 0.75, you get the drunk experience. And then we also played a little bit of Foxhole recently, and the last little adventure we went on was a kind of... We didn't really do much. We played it for a decent amount of time, but all we did was transport like a couple things.
We played like 4 hours, and we moved 2 things.
Yeah. Was it 4 hours? It couldn't have been 4 hours.
At least 3. Like, it was a long time.
This is insane. And all we did was get like a truck and drive like some crap from one place to another. And then we also got lost every time we were moving. Every single time we did anything. It was honestly just a complete disaster, and we totally just stole resources from somebody else's encampment. Like, somebody else built something.
Regiment commander didn't even question it. He was like, okay, good, next.
Yeah. Which, you said that's just like corruption?
Yeah, clear-cut corruption.
Like, I'm assuming that's like, if they find out you're doing that, is that like a bannable offense?
I don't think so, but you probably would not be very happy with me.
Yeah.
If it's something that caught doing repeatedly, and it's like a a cycle that we're doing,
right?
100 could get like kicked out for the regiment or something. But
yeah,
I don't think we're not going to get caught unless he like fucking watches this.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would be weird. But no, like, it's so funny. It's funny to me because we literally drained like this entire bunker of, I guess it was, what was it, like supply, some kind of supply resource,
maintenance supplies.
Yeah, and it was just like it was kind of near the front. But no one was there. No one was there to stop us.
Shit like this reminds me of the Soviet Union, because this is like stuff that would happen all the time.
Yeah.
Like they would be like, oh, we need this certain good. And instead of making the new good, they'd just take it from somewhere else and then say they made the new good.
Oh.
So you'd have all these times where like the Soviet army on paper looks like this fucking crazy thing. But then in reality, like, oh, they're missing all these really specific things. Like that's just corruption.
Right.
And it's 100% what we did yesterday.
Yeah. It was kind of fun. It just felt super. We fumbled the entire time. Plus, it was cold, and we kept dying from. I died like twice from just being cold because I didn't even know that was
outside.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a problem. The game really doesn't give you a warning. You just kind of like was just walking and exploded.
We stole all the supplies and we ran over a bunch of landmines.
Oh yeah, yeah, like disaster after disaster. And we were going to do one more thing before we got off, and then like we were in the middle of telling the regiment commander, oh, we're going to head out and pick up one more thing for you, and he was like, all right, and then he stole our truck and drove away. And we were just like, okay, all right, I guess we're done. Like,
I'm not going to get another truck.
I guess that's just the end of it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited for Tony Hawk. It's my mind is exploding.
I'm currently playing Prison Architect.
Yeah.
That I started that last night, and I think that's going to be my new addiction, my new single-player addiction for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you've played it before. I never really personally got into that game.
There's a part of the game that I find really addictive and very, very fun, and that's starting with low amount of money and then building a prison. And then there's a mechanic where you can sell the prison off and start anew with all the money that you get from that prison.
Right.
And then you can kind of learn from the mistakes you made from that last prison with more money and like a better idea of what you want to do. So then you get to this point where you're like 3 or 4 prisons sold down the line where you have a perfect idea of what you want to do and all the funds to do it. And by then you've also kind of refined your idea because you've learned from all the mistakes of your previous 4 prisons.
Huh.
And once you get to that like 5th and final prison, you can make really wonders that like they'll work like clockwork, and it's super fun and addictive.
Huh. I'm assuming it takes a long time.
Yeah, it's a big time sink.
Yeah. I always complain about games that take too long to get through, but then again, I sat and played like Diablo for many, many, many hours, like all weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and just grinding. Like, and all that grinding work got me to like level 22, and because I'm playing that crappy monk character on the Hellfire, he's pretty much useless. Like, it was just a struggle the whole way through.
He does less damage when you give him certain weapons.
Yeah. I mean, I've just been using staffs.
I think that's a good weapon for him.
Yeah, like I've been using staffs 100% of the time. But the issue is just like, dude, dexterity is the only way I can protect myself, and if anything has range, like fire or electricity, whatever it is, it just annihilates me.
Oh God.
And like I have no protection from it at all. It's just like the little bit of vitality I get from leveling up is all I really have. I don't know. It's making me, and also I've lost all of my awesome gear, like all of my best stuff. I had like my best gear on me because I was down like 3 floors below where I probably should have been because my gear was so awesome. And I was so excited and just like super cocky. Died, lost all of it, was unable to get it back. Not because like I couldn't get down there and flank them, but because the world just reset. I accidentally reset my world, so it was gone forever. And I was like, I'm like ready to put this game down. But part of me is just like fuck you, game, you won't break me. Like I don't want to give up. But on the other hand, it's like I don't know. Maybe I should switch to Diablo 2.
I want to play that game really bad. We also have to go.
Yeah, we do have to go. Damn it. Back to work.
Back to work we go.
Yay.
Bye.
All right, lunch break.
Lunch break.
It's Tuesday.
Terrific Tuesday. How's work going?
I don't know, man. It's just weird. I don't have a supervisor, so but I think when I'm working, what sucks is the thing I'm working on, I just wasted like 3 hours doing something I don't think I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, and I now what I realized is the task is only going to take me a little while to do, but like I wasted all of that time doing something completely different from what it was asking me to do because I just misinterpreted what was going on. Like my previous discussions with my supervisor led me to believe that that's what I was supposed to be doing because I heavily implied it in the questions that I was asking, and they never said no. So I was like, all right. So like that's the task of this job.
Oh,
and so I went through the whole process of doing that and then had the question of, is this what I think it is? And then I asked some random supervisor and they were like, nope. I was like, no way, dude. I had to undo so much crap that I had done because I never like sent the job in or like submitted it or whatever, like the actual in the program. I never sent it through. So I basically like finished I finished one job and then the same workspace started a different job and like undid and like did a ton of work that I had to undo so that I can submit that and then start the next job. Oh my God, it was a nightmare.
It's like you took the wrong turn at Albuquerque and then got on a plane.
Right. It's pretty rough and it's not going to do me any favors in terms of score, but I think I'm still going to break even as long as I finish this today. Break even. I'm already behind, but like break even, like I didn't go further behind. Like I'm still on,
like break even for today's points, just not the week points.
And then like at least like I have the rest of the month to like catch up. So it's like it shouldn't be that bad, hopefully. But yeah, no, it's just not ideal. Kind of lame.
Work is another just boring day for me. I submitted a project and then I got this project that I've been playing like fucking ping pong with the people that build the project with, just rejecting it back and forth over and over and over again. Right. But I finally think all the problems with it have been resolved, so I can finally actually work on it. Nice. It's a project that I got like the start of the year. Yeah. Rejected it like fucking like 7 or 8 times now.
Right. Yeah. But overall, I'm optimistic. I am excited to come home and play more Tony Hawk. Because I'm hoping I can squeeze Tony Hawk into my day, even though there's other crap I want to do today. Like I really, really, really want to play Tony Hawk. Because 3 and 4 is coming out soon. I wanted to play 1 and 2 again. By the way, I had to repurchase 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Made me lose my mind because the Steam Deck just hates. Use this like heroic launcher to launch games from the Epic Games launcher on Linux and through the Steam Deck. And it just wouldn't let me log in. I tried logging in. It kept giving me an error. The internet was like, oh, you have to log in with a linked service like Google. I tried that, and then I just kept getting a different error. And I was just like, I've already spent like 30 or 40 minutes trying to figure this out. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm just going to spend the $40 and repurchase the game on Steam where I know it's going to work so I don't have to deal with it. I hate when I look like when there's a problem like that where you look it up and the community is like, yeah, that's a known issue. Like that's just something that we all know doesn't work and we have all accepted that it doesn't work and it hasn't been fixed for years and no one has done anything about it. Like that's the most irritating thing. Like this is clearly a problem. Somebody should fix it, but no one's fixed it. I saw that as soon as it started happening. I was like, I've had enough. I'm done buying it again. I don't care. $40, whatever. At least that they're all in one place now. I already bought 1 and 3 or 3 and 4 on Steam. Also, some interesting things about 3 and 4. Apparently, they there's no like on the fourth game. There's no like campaign necessarily like it was in the fourth game, the original fourth game. The campaign's still there, and like a lot of the campaign stuff is still there. But in the way that 1 and 2 and 3 have the 2-minute time limit to do whatever tasks and collect skate and do all that stuff, they're doing that in 4 too. So you're given 2-minute time frames to collect skate and to collect all the stuff around the map, and then also complete stuff along around the map. So it's going to be weird. And at first I was like, that sucks, because there's a lot of like weird, stupid little dialogue between the characters and the skaters. I loved the bad voice acting of like the skaters, go up to them like, yeah, you did all right. And like the way they talk to you was just, I loved how
let's see it.
Yeah, like let's see it. Like I loved all of it. But all of that's going to be not there, which is a little lame.
So it's like the campaign, but with like the rules of 3?
Yeah, like the gameplay of 3 or 1 and 2, but in the fourth game's maps.
Okay.
But again, a lot of the campaign elements should still be there, like potentially, like, you know, when you like grab onto the back of the cart in the on the coast map. I forgot what it is, but you like ride in the security guard is like talking to you the whole time, and it takes a while. Like apparently that should be in the game. Also, like the thing where like you jump over the sharks and like you hit the ball into the water or whatever, all that stuff. I think all of that should still be in the game. It's just like there's going to be that 2-minute reset, which again might be cool. I don't think it's going to matter that much. To be fair, like yes, the campaign was fun, it's nostalgic, but realistically, like a lot of that stuff wasn't really necessary, and you still had the 2-minute timer when you started those events. It just didn't start when you started the game.
They're not removing like free play or anything though.
Well, there should still be a free play option. Like in 1 and 2, there was like the main campaign for the first one and the second one that you would run through, and you have the 2-minute segments. And then there was a once you've done enough, you unlock the free mode, and then you can just do whatever you want in those maps and just kind of hang out. That should still be a thing. If it isn't, that's crazy. But regardless, the soundtrack is also very different. They didn't take all of the songs from the fourth game. It's a completely different soundtrack, but the soundtrack is pretty good. And there's some songs from the original soundtrack. Any songs from the original soundtrack, I'm very happy about. So at least there's some songs from the original soundtrack, but there's not enough trumpets. There's just not enough trumpets anymore.
The theme is very trumpety.
Yeah, there's no more trumpets. I don't think a single trumpet song is in the new game.
What? They don't have that song? Like, what the fuck?
I guess it wasn't considered iconic enough.
Is the whole soundtrack on Spotify or something?
Yeah,
like,
the whole soundtrack, the original soundtrack for 3 and 4 is already released on Spotify, so you can listen to it now and get like hyped up about what the game is going to be like. It is good. Like the soundtrack is still very punky, and it's a little like a mixture between like punk rock and sort of rap and hip hop and stuff. And it's good. All of it is good. It's all artists that I've been listening to for the last few months or whatever. So it's like a lot of it's music I'm already familiar with, and it's cool. So I'm not completely bummed, but it is going to be different from just be like a full, just like like a remaster of the original game.
Yeah.
Still excited.
As long as they do not remove the alligator or the crocodile from the theme park map, I'm fine with it.
That should be there, I would imagine.
I forget the fucking flavor text it says whenever you get eaten by the crocodile, but I remember it used to say something silly.
Yeah. There's also like apparently some of the more time trial-y things that were in 4 might not be there. So like I think you had like there was like this monkey race thing on the zoo map. That was a thing, and that you could like come across it, and then you do this sort of like time trial event thing with the monkeys. Little things like that might not be in the game anymore. Again, I don't really remember all of it that well. I haven't played the fourth game like in its entirety in a million years, so I don't think I'm going to miss too much.
Should boot up the original for the PS2.
Yeah.
I still have a copy, but I don't know if it works.
Yeah. And then there were some people, there was specifically one person that was making comparisons between the videos and the screenshots. By the way, there's loads of gameplay video. We're already at 3 and 4 out on YouTube. You can watch loads of it. Many people already have copies of it to make reviews. So there's loads of video. But there was somebody that was comparing those videos to the original game, and made an observation that some of the maps, or maybe potentially all of the maps in 4, are maybe a little smaller, so that like that 2-minute time limit is a little bit more realistic. Now this is something that like none of the reviewers pointed out. No one pointed out. Like, no one's talking about this. This isn't like part of the rhetoric. No one on Reddit saying anything about this. One guy pointed it out and then posted some like pictures that kind of do look like there may have been some scaling differences in relation to the original maps. I don't know if it's a big deal. It probably is going to be. If it is a thing, it would probably be so slight that it wouldn't really be noticeable. But that's one of the things I was like, about. But regardless,
when does it come out?
In about 8 weeks.
Ooh,
so on July 11th, I believe. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it should be really fun. I'm glad that I do have it on Steam now. I should be able to just pull it up on the Steam Deck and immediately go. I'm bummed that I had to buy 1 and 2 again, because now I have to like remake all of the progress I made in those games, in both of those games already, which I was pretty happy with how far I got in them before. Like, there's a lot to do in those games.
How many launchers actually work on Linux? Because it feels like it's only Steam.
Well, I mean, realistically, there is quote unquote support for pretty much any launcher that you can think of.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like you have to jump through freaking hoops to get it to work. And the Linux community will be like, no, that's stupid, you're lazy, that you're dumb, whatever.
Actually,
it's actually not that hard. It's super easy. Just download the thing. Dude, I have not. It's always hard. It's always a pain in the ass. I don't care what anybody says. It does suck. It's not seamless. It's incredibly clunky.
Well, technically, if you boot it from the drive, then it should be easy.
and regardless, I don't even like having multiple launchers on PC. I already get frustrated with having to log into multiple things in order to play my different
Battle.net,
games.
fuck Origin, whatever, all
like the GeoGog or whatever, or like EA's crap. I'm good. I hate it. It's annoying.
I think EA gave up on their launcher because all the Battlefield games went to Steam.
Yeah.
I think their launcher was like Origin or something.
Yeah. Origin was, I think Origin turned into something else too. I thought it was Origin, and then Origin was something before Origin, I think, even.
I just remember it was Orange, and it was a fucking pain in the ass. And they fucking, every time there was like an update to Battlefield 4, they'd lock me out of my account, and then I'd have to email them and prove to them all the hours I have on Battlefield 4. Like, fucking, that happened like 10 times.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know. EA is very frustrating, but this is like, it's just Epic Games is always, like, when on PC, Epic Games is okay, and I have some games I've purchased through that. The only notable game that I can think of that I have on Epic Games that I actually that I care about, that I kind of wish wasn't on Epic Games still, is Detroit Become Human. Mm-hmm. That's the only one. And as of right now, I can't play it on the Steam Deck because I can't log into Epic Games. So that's super annoying.
Who owns Epic Games?
I don't know. I think Epic Games is
people that own Fortnite own Epic Games.
Yeah, but I think they create, like, Epic Games didn't become like a game company until Fortnite happened. Mm-hmm. So it was like Fortnite was their big thing. They made a load of money, and they were like, oh, we could start a whole game company, or a game launcher rather. Like, we could be a market for games, I think is what happened.
I remember it being cool like a few years ago because they kept giving out free games, but I don't even play those games anymore.
And that's another thing. Like, I have on Epic Games, I have loads and loads of free games, and many of which I had and then disappeared from the library, and I just don't have anymore. And it got so confusing to me. Like it's cool and all that they give out free games, but like I don't even want to get into it because I'm afraid it's just going to disappear one day. And it
does feel sketchy.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not into it. I'd rather just own the game. It just doesn't feel right to me.
So on a change of topic, my archery supplies are starting to come in.
Nice.
And I'm very, very excited. I got my arrows in today.
Sweet.
And they're pretty heavy and very durable feeling. So
what kind of tips do you have? More blunt, I'm assuming?
They're sharper than the ones that I was using on Saturday when I went the other day.
But they're still just like metal cap?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I wouldn't say they're drastically different, though. They're just like a slightly sharper, slightly longer.
Yeah, they'll dull out anyway.
Mm-hmm. They are practice arrows, though, so they're not like real warheads or anything.
Cool, yeah. Because it would be incredibly hard to practice with anything else.
It's called the tip of an arrowhead a warhead.
Yeah.
Doing the nuclear shit.
Yeah. But that's cool. You're gonna you want to do that regularly, like practice it.
I know I'm probably going to go every Saturday and Sunday as long as the weather's like not too intense.
Huh.
And then I can practice at my grandfather's house as well. And I go there about once or twice a week. So I'll make sure to practice there as well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've done it twice now. And each time, very, very fun. And I'm always cut off like before I'm satisfied with what I've done. Like I've always gone like maybe 2 hours was the longest I did last time. But I felt like I could go longer and do more.
Right.
And another bonus of me getting my own arrows was the other times that I've tried, I've only been able to shoot 2 arrows before having to go get them because my partner, he only has 2 arrows. He got more recently, but
right.
It's going to be nice to be able to shoot, 4, 5, or 6 at a time.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'll be able to, really get the technique down.
Right. Yeah. That does sound cool. I feel like it would be super relaxing to do it alone. I've shot arrows and stuff in scouts and or just general archery and stuff, and I've done that many times, but I've always done it with like a bunch of other people, and it's always been like more formal sort of.
Yeah.
Being able to just kind of casually practice that sounds like it'd be like super. Well, I did do that at home. Like I had a compound bow when I lived in my old house, and I would shoot it alone, but I was young and I wasn't really like doing it for like allowing myself to focus on it. I was
appreciating
just
the discipline.
Yeah, I was just fucking with bow and arrow. But
bit of a benefit I have for being such an early bird is literally every time I go to the park that I go to, the archery range is always completely dead empty. So I'll probably 9 times out of 10 will have a completely open field for my use for like 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
Which that's gonna be pretty fucking dope.
That's cool.
When it's empty, I don't even have to follow archer etiquette, which is like apparently whenever there's multiple archers firing, they don't want you to shoot more than 4 arrows at a time, and they don't want you to go grab your arrows until everyone is done firing.
Gotcha.
So if I'm there alone, I don't have to really worry about doing that.
It sounds cool. I would like to if you're into it and you keep getting into it and you like it feels like something that you like a lot, I might even consider I feel like I would be down to pick that hobby up, Like it sounds like fun. I would probably enjoy that.
I ended up going with a recurve bow instead of a longbow as well.
Okay.
Because I was having a difficult time finding the longbow and the style that I want. Because my partner has a recurve bow and a very specific style that's like really good for beginners. It has like at the aiming point of the arrow, I don't know what it's called, like the bow handle or something.
Right.
There's a little inlet that the arrowhead will lay on, so you don't have to like rest it on your fingers or anything.
Right.
And I think I found a longbow with that style. It's difficult for me to determine because it's not advertised whatsoever and it's not in any of the pictures.
Right.
But the arrow or the bow that my partner has, same situation. It's not advertised or shown in any of the pictures, but it comes like that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'll just play it safe and get the recurve for now and then wait a year or two. And then if I really want to, do it, I'll get the longbow then. Right.
I feel like the recurve is going to be more like, I feel like it's going to be more, I don't know. I personally would go for a recurve anyway. So I don't really know. I understand that you want to do longbow and it's cool, but I feel like you'll be happy with the recurve is all I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's going to be a satisfying thing to use.
I would like to eventually be able to do like the traditional method where there's no nooking of the arrow or of the arrowhead and you're completely reliant on your hand and how you're like holding with the arrow.
Right.
I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos also about like how to properly fire the arrow and like what look for whenever you're aiming. Right. So I'm very excited for tomorrow when I get to bow because I think I'm going to try it out.
Yeah. That's
I'm
epic.
Just giving exercise tomorrow just to pluck arrows for like 3 hours.
Right. We got to go. We went over a lot. This is the longest we've gone over. But we had a little extra time. But yeah, we got to go.
All right, well, back to work.
Yeah. Bye. Lunch break. It's Wednesday. Hump day.
Yeah, happy hump day.
Yeah. Woo.
Are you enjoying work?
I mean, it's fine. We're doing audits. We keep ending up doing audits. So it's kind of like, it's not that it's hard. It's just annoying. So that's all that's going on. And I've been mostly just like listening to music and watching videos. I've been listening to like YouTube videos and stuff. And Veritasium posted something recently about forever chemicals, and it's kind of terrifying. Like, apparently like it's about PFAS, which is something that like has come up before, and like different media and groups have talked about it, and people are like freaking out and throwing away their nonstick pans and stuff for a long time, like because that is technically the chemical that's involved in making something nonstick. Effectively, what it is it's just like it's a molecule that's very well bonded to itself. It's a lot of carbon bonds. And so it doesn't really bind with anything else. It only wants to bind with itself, which makes it incredibly useful for like coating things to make them nonstick, or to like use it for basically anytime you need a molecule that you don't want it to react with whatever it is you're putting it in, that's what you would choose. And there are multiple different variations of this chemical, but the issue is even in the manufacture, in the factories and in the creations of those chemicals, they produce multiple different byproducts and other chemicals that also do the same thing, but are incredibly toxic, because once they get into the human body, they make their way into your organs, and they just sit there, and they can cause kidney issues, and also just a plethora of different cancers, like testicular cancers and all kinds of stuff. And they found it everywhere. Like it's everywhere. It literally It's in the rain. Like in massive amounts, it's in the rain. And this is relatively new. Like we've known that it was not great, and apparently, I think is a company. I don't know what the company is. This is all publicly shared information, by the way. I'm not doing my own research, and I'm not trying to make any. I don't want to get like attacked by some company, but apparently they've been making this and doing their own in-house studies on like C8 is what they called it, and a few other chemicals for years, and on lab animals, and finding out, oh yeah, this is actually incredibly harmful. It kills them if you have it in large amounts. So what they did was they made their own little tests to figure out what's an appropriate amount of this that can be inside of the water, and they based all of their manufacturing on those tests, so that they can still let it feed into the drinking water, or into the Ohio River specifically, is one of the big players of it, because the Ohio River is it's flooding through the Ohio, and so anybody that lives offstream of the Ohio has been introduced to this chemical for a long, long time. And it's also even though now those chemicals are technically banned. Loads of variations of those chemicals were not banned that do the same thing and are just as cancerous. And those chemicals are also deep within the soil of the water. So even if you do filter out these chemicals, they are always going to be there. And it would probably take an incredibly long time for the levels of PFAS in drinking water to go down significantly. So yeah, it's just everywhere. There are maps available where you can go and kind of see where they've done tests and what the concentration was, and when you look at those maps, you'll see that it's pretty much on everything. And yeah, so that is the forever chemical. When people talk about forever chemicals and like what are forever chemicals, it's PFAS. That's what it is. It is the thing that has been freaking people out and has been causing problems throughout the world for a long time, and we just had no idea what it was until now.
It makes me think of two different things, like a statement and then trying to think of like an analogy to put it on. Like the statement would be like every generation has its lead.
Yeah.
But then
we've had multiple leads now. We've had lots and lots. It's mostly just been through chemicals, like plastic, just general plastics, microplastics as well is a big one, but just general chemical creation that and processes that go into creating these weird chemicals.
I'm trying to think of like an analogy to compare like the endless race of corporations trying to make money from everything and then the government regulating that thing.
Right.
So it's kind of like every sword has a shield and every shield has a horse and every horse has a pike and every pike has a thing that counters it. It's just this endless race.
These companies are not required to report this information at any scientific institute, so they had no obligation to even say anything about the fact that these chemicals are dangerous and that they're inside of their products and that they're putting them inside of the drinking water, because the FDA never actually knew about them, and so they were never testing for them. So they were just kind of always there and no one knew about it. And on top of that, like this is a forever problem, because it's kind of what companies do is they kind of, there's this I hate hearing this argument of like everything's chemicals. Like, what's it matter? Like, it's so like don't what like yes, there's a bunch of chemicals, but like everything's chemicals. Like, yeah, dude, everything's chemicals. But like, there's so many factors here. Lots of chemicals are dangerous. Lots of chemicals are not good for you. And also it has to do with like how much of whatever is inside of whatever it is you're consuming, and then the fact that it's not even about what the chemicals are. It's not even about what's in the shit you're eating. It's about what your body metabolizes that shit into, and then what it becomes when it's in your body after it's been soaked up by or been taken by your bloodstream and then deposited into your fat. What is that chemical now? And is that chemical harmful? And the process of breaking those foods down, those chemicals that you consume, is incredibly complicated, and it's really hard to predict what kinds of things are going to come out of that after your body deals with it. So to just say like, okay, well, the chemical on paper is fine, it's on paper it's not harmful, is nothing. It means nothing, because you'll consume it and your body is going to turn it into something completely different, and you can't be sure what that is. And there's a lot of the stuff that we've been putting in our food is stuff that we haven't really been putting in our food that long. And the tests that have to be done in order to find out whether or not it's harmful are so ambiguous and so hard to conduct that realistically the only real marker as to whether or not it's harmful is after years and years of it being in the system and years of it being in the population. Oh, look at this. The mortality rate is going up. Look, suddenly people are having more cancer. Like they find out afterwards because there's no way to know for sure. So we're seeing the effects of that, and it's pretty huge. And like there's lots of things that are going on right now to try to eliminate some of these problems. And the food stuff is different. A lot of it has been due to like dyes and random other like preservative chemicals and stuff. But the U.S. is like the biggest problem child for this because we just approved like way too many of those chemicals. So I think right now the current administration is trying to do stuff to fix that, and hopefully they actually do stuff to fix that, because that would be great.
That thing you just said to me, or that thing you just said right now, reminds me of the fucking kind of like how American city design was after World War II.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the idea of doing it cheaply and quickly rather than maybe more expensively, but long term it'll pay off.
Right.
And that's kind of how we got into the situation where all cities are designed around stroads.
Yeah.
You can kind of take that concept and apply it to every other aspect of American life, like our food distribution system or anything else.
Yeah. Things are just rough, man. But it is what it is, and it's in everybody, so we're kind of all in this together.
We'll all go together when we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is. But
I'm sure they'll eventually, in 100 years, be like, oh, there's a very obvious solution, but it's not obvious until you find it.
Right. Yeah. But we're kind of just running into the problem now. But it's whatever. I don't want to think about that. I want to think about video games. You wanted to play Prison Architect.
Oh, yes. I'm deep into Prison Architect now. It's such a fun game.
Yeah. We were thinking about streaming it, out here.
If I wanted to play it out here, I do like playing with the wireless keyboard, but I would want a mouse to go with it. Playing it on my lap would just be too encumbrant, I think.
Right.
And then we've got these little side tables, but I don't know. They're not low enough, I think, and then also they don't get close enough.
Right.
But I was looking at some desks where the legs go under the couch, so you can pull it up right up close to you. So I could just be sitting here like I'm actually at a desk, but still at the couch.
Yeah.
And then if we got that, it would unlock the opportunity to play basically anything out here.
Right. I mean, realistically, the best case scenario would be Valve finally releasing their Steam controller, their new one. The current one, can you believe it? It's like, if you want to buy it on Amazon, it is available. It's like $300, and I think when it first came out, it wasn't even that expensive.
I think it was $199.
Yeah, and then for a long time after they stopped selling it, they had so much in stock that they were giving them away practically for $5.
Oh my god!
At one point, so you could people picked up a bunch of them at the time for extremely low prices because they were just handing them out effectively. And then obviously I have one, but I think mine was just a dud. It was manufactured wrong or something. But Yeah, man. Like I would love to get my hands on one of those, but obviously they're too expensive, and there is no equivalent. There is nothing like that. That you can go on Amazon and find like little crappy like handheld controller style mouse and keyboard things, maybe with a little joystick that emulates like WASD. And those do exist, but none of them are of like a good enough quality. There's usually really bad reviews.
It doesn't feel like a Steam controller.
No, and there's not really like any like large companies or bigger brands that are like trying to specialize in a controller like that. It's kind of a weird market. Like there's not really that many people looking for that, but I think that they're maybe underestimating how useful that would be and how many people would actually be interested in a product like that if it even existed.
It all just reminds me of like a fucking Xbox 360 controller with like a keyboard on it.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
Right. Or just like a shitty trackpad and the thing is made out of plastic and it's like, it has like crappy Bluetooth built in and maybe a shitty little 2.5 or 2.4 receiver that like, and the thing will only last you like a little while before it stops working. It'll probably just start acting up. It doesn't seem like it's that hard of a problem to solve, but apparently it is. Apparently it's a really hard problem to solve.
The best thing I've ever seen, other than a Steam controller, is the Steam Deck.
Yeah, right. And the Steam Deck it's almost perfect. Like you can really play any mouse game on there. It's comfortable. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel clunky,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get good at it. Like you can build muscle memory with it because it feels good in your hands. So you can, eventually get used to it, and it just, it's like using any other mouse.
There is only one issue I find with trackpads, and then like the Steam Deck also has that issue, and it's just like whenever you're rubbing your fingers over after a while, it really gets uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's valid. But then again, if you're using it all the time, eventually your skin's gonna get used to it.
Mm-hmm. Or you like get like a
yeah.
glove or something.
Yeah, you could do that.
I see someone at work do that. They draw with their fingers all the time, but they have a glove just for 3 of their fingers.
Right. Huh. Yeah, it would be cool to stream like Prison Architect out here, and also like I would want to stream it to YouTube and Twitch. We mostly stream everything to Twitch, but Twitch recently changed their terms so that they're allowing people to stream on other platforms. And typically when we've streamed on YouTube, we do get a good amount of viewers, and that's really cool.
Yeah, a lot of the subscribers show up.
Right. The issue with that, though, is that, well, first of all, I hate trying to deal with 2 different services. There's not a lot of really good, there are things that exist that can kind of combine the chats and alerts and so on, so that works better. But those tools are kind of clunky and don't work very well 100% of the time, and also are just a pain in the ass to set up. I already have everything set up for Twitch. I would just prefer to use Twitch. But a part of Twitch's terms are that you're not allowed to have your Twitch interface show YouTube chat. It has to just be Twitch. They want it to be just fully in the Twitch ecosystem so that viewers on Twitch are not being hit with stuff from other services or other platforms, which is fine by me because that makes my life easier. And so my thought about it is we should stream to both Twitch and YouTube, and then have the stream on YouTube effectively be like, we're just couch gaming, blanket title, so that, whenever we go live, it makes sense. And have in the description, if you want to like interact or chat with us, jump over to Twitch, and here's the Twitch URL.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So maybe we'll still get people or get some traffic from YouTube, but without having to worry about either also breaking those terms, and then on top of that, dealing with crappy UI or having to have 2 different chats open all the time.
Yeah,
which
that's
I'm
what
already,
I used to do.
Right, I'm already bad enough at paying attention to Twitch chat alone, let alone having 2 chats that I have to pay attention to. And I also hate having to update the title and the game stuff every single time we start the stream for 2 different platforms. I don't like having to do it for Twitch alone.
We should make John be our producer.
And he'll just sit there and update everything. But, yeah, I don't know. It should be cool, though. I'm excited. I just want to do more streams. I like recording videos. It's fun, but I just don't have the time to edit long four-factor videos all the time. I really just, I don't have the time to do it. We work full-time. I don't need another full-time job sitting at home trying to put that stuff. I'm trying to just live my life. So, and even getting this podcast put together, when we edit the video or when I edit the episodes, that's a little bit of like oh damn, I gotta sit down and really listen to it and make sure that we didn't screw anything up.
It does take it takes a bit of time,
right? And so it feels like streaming is the best way to go. And that way, like, we can just publish our full streams and then do highlights and little bits of clips and stuff here and there. If, we used to do like highlight compilation stuff on the main channel, so I would like to stream to the main channel so that the main channel is at least active again. And then if the stuff happens or if there's something that's worth like notable that we want to put out there, then we can make little tiny videos, and those are easier to edit because I just have to go, timestamp this, timestamp that, put it into a little clip, and then upload
Bish, bash, bosh.
Yeah, and because the only alternative is to pay somebody to do that crap for you, and we're not doing that. We don't make any money from this. This is for
get
fun.
Someone on Fiverr.
The majority of the time when I make any kind of content, I like to think of it from the idea of like, this is for me and maybe my friends, and this is something I can like look back on and have like an archive of stuff that we've done or whatever. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me. Like, every time we've ever made anything on the old channel, the most rewarding thing has always been, I'm looking at something we did 5 years ago. I'm looking at something that happened 10 years ago. And like, that's where I get the satisfaction from it. So that's what I want to focus on. I want to make sure it's an archive and just like appreciating what happened. And streaming feels like one of the best ways to do that. And then there's still always the opportunity that maybe people that are interested can hang out and we can have that sort of interaction. But
community,
right? It would be awesome, but I just it's not worth like getting in the the headspace of like, I'm always trying to make people like this. I'm trying to make this for people. It's like, it's unhealthy. It doesn't feel good, and it makes the content worse. So, yeah,
I think we gotta go.
We do gotta go. Man, I talked a lot today.
A lot on the mind.
Yeah. All right. Well,
bye.
Lunch break.
It's
Thursday.
Thursday. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Work is fine. It's whatever. It's work.
I've got a really fucking annoying project that I've got like 1 million hours in that's been back and forth with me all year. And I'm all discombobulated from it, so I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just submitting it and see what happens.
Right.
Hopefully it'll be fine.
Yeah. I've just been chilling. I really don't have I don't really have a lot going on.
I'm pissed.
You're pissed?
I'm fucking pissed.
That's cool.
Amazon said my archery shit was going to be here tomorrow or yesterday.
Yeah.
And it never arrived, and now they said it's going to be here today by 3.
Right.
And if it's not here by 3, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just, all I can think about is hanging out. I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl, and like since then I've just been like...
You finished the whole series?
Yeah, well, yeah, this up to the 7th book.
Oh, God.
Like, since then I'm like kind of just in limbo. I started this weird like quantum series, like it's I don't even know what it is.
Not Quantum Earth.
No, it's like some weird, like it's like a free Audible book thing, but it was like vaguely interesting to me, but I like started it but then stopped, and pretty much all day I've just been listening to like YouTube videos and like music, just kind of like randomly.
I've just been focusing on work all day, like I don't want to listen to any music.
Yeah.
And then I tried listening to Dune, but I don't know. I can't get into it right now. Mm-hmm. And then YouTube is just suggesting me shit that I don't want to watch. I'm just like, I'll just sit here in silence and tap away at the keyboard.
Yeah. I just haven't really been... I've also I've done a lot of silent, just kind of working. At least up until like 9 o'clock usually is how that goes. Like, usually that first part of the day, I don't feel like I deserve to listen to anything. I feel like I need to like just lock in until I can get to it, until I get like a few things submitted and I get the ball rolling, and then I kind of like start listening to stuff. Because typically if I start listening to stuff too early, I might discover like halfway through the day like, oh crap, I haven't really finished anything. Yeah. Like I really need to like get this stuff moving.
I find that if I listen to something like immediately upon arriving at work, it kind of distracts me, and I get into like a flow state sooner if I'm just sitting there focusing on work. Yeah, it reminds me of like caffeine. Like I don't like waking up and immediately drinking a coffee. I want to stay awake at least an hour.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to. For caffeine, you're supposed to wait like an hour or two before you drink it. Like you have whatever the chemical, the molecule in your brain that caffeine emulates, is like it's caffeine effectively like blocks the receptors that make you feel kind of, I guess it's blocking the receptors that make you feel tired effectively, but you have a whole lot of that tired chemical in your head that like builds up in the morning, and your brain needs to like process through it before you introduce caffeine, because if you just drink caffeine as soon as you wake up, that chemical is still going to be in your brain in abundance, and it's just going to pile up. So the moment you drink caffeine, and then like the moment the caffeine stops like binding to those receptors, now you're just going to get flooded with this tired chemical, and it's just going to make you crash like stupid hard.
Oh gosh.
So like, yeah, you kind of have to avoid it, at least at the beginning of the day.
Very glad I'm not one of those type of people that are like, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee.
Yeah.
It's like immediately the first thing I do in the morning is make coffee.
Yeah. It's a really bad habit. It's definitely a thing you have to build up to. Like, it's something like you start drinking coffee early, and then the next morning you're like, wow, the first few times you do it, it's going to be great. You're like, holy crap, I feel so awake, I could do this forever. And then you start like, your body starts getting, I guess used to it, but eventually it's just going to stop.
I did it
working
for about a month at my grandpa's house.
Yeah.
It was a time whenever I was like vaping at the time too. So like I would just like wake up and like make a big giant cup of coffee. I had this giant red mug. I think I brought it here. Or no, that's the Powerpuff Girl one, so never mind. But I had this giant mug of coffee and a vape, and I would start my morning every morning. Like, I feel so French right now. I was talking to Spada, being like, taking a picture of the vape and the coffee, like, he'd be proud of me.
Yeah.
But I could only keep that up for about a month before I was like, I got to stop this.
Right. Yeah, I was talking about yesterday. I was talking about the PFAS stuff.
PFAS,
and also I mentioned a company that I have the hindsight to go, I'm gonna get rid of that, because I said, first of all, the wrong company name.
Oops.
And on top of that, it probably wouldn't even be wise to mention it at all anyway. And they are literally being sued by the state of Kentucky because of this right now. So.
Am I allowed to guess the name?
Sure, go for it.
Isn't it or something?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, I don't know.
I remember what you said yesterday.
Yeah, I think I said, I don't know. I don't know what I said. But whatever I said was an actual company that has nothing to do with this. And I was like, I definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I just found that whole thing fascinating. It's crazy when that stuff happens, and it's probably going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, hey, everything's, everything you thought is wrong, but
we're never at the end of the tech tree. Like we were born in the 90s thinking like, oh, we fucking solved everything, and then once again find out, oh, it's only the tip of the iceberg. Yay!
Right.
The tip of the iceberg just goes on forever, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very big iceberg. But yeah, I streamed a little bit yesterday. I did a little bit of like Tony Hawk, and I did stream to both Twitch and YouTube. It's like a little weird doing it. I felt like really anxious about it for some reason, because I was like, I haven't posted anything on that main channel in like 100 years, and now I'm live streaming to it. I don't think anybody really watched it. I think it got like 2 views the entire time I was streaming, which was about 43 minutes or something. But like I was just so anxious because I was like, I haven't done it. I haven't streamed on YouTube. It's like a weird psychological thing. And it was making me worse at the game. I was like, this is stupid. Like,
messing up all the buttons.
Like, yeah, it's like, it's one of the, like, streaming is something where, like, when you first do it anyway, like, you're not going to get any views. It really doesn't matter, like, what you're doing. Unless it's like, well, maybe unless it's like a crazy popular game and, like, you're, like, one of the first people to go live or something. Mm-hmm. But, like, realistically, you're not going to get views. It's mostly about consistency. Like, you just have to regularly do it, and then the algorithm will pick it up. Like, if you only stream once in a blue moon, then you can't really expect to ever get views.
I hear the most important thing, though, is just the consistent schedule.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're streaming just once a week for 1 hour, as long as you're doing it for that 1 hour, the same time a week, same amount of time, it will grow. Yeah,
you just, again, 100%. It's consistency. And, like, that's what the algorithm's looking for, at least, when it comes to that. So, it's pretty... That's really the only thing. But the thing is like, I don't know how, like, streaming is hard. It's tiring. and it's time consuming,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun, but like I wouldn't like that right there alone is like now you have the pressure of like you have to do this in order for the algorithm to not screw you over.
I remember whenever I used to stream a lot more often. I would find the most success whenever I was streaming, and like I would always get caught up on being like, there should be no dead air.
Right.
I need to be talking constantly. But I eventually found more success that as long as I'm just focusing on having fun, not necessarily talking, just speaking whenever I want to speak,
Yeah.
I would get more traction like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's the forced talk thing is like really hard to avoid.
I feel like the viewers they kind of know when you're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're alone, it's like way easier to get into that
Very
headspace too. Where you're just like there's no one there. You're not talking to anybody else. You're just like really just trying to force words out. It's incredibly obvious, I think, when you're doing it. It's just like a tone of voice and just like also just like weirdly placed enthusiasm, like where you're like, I definitely wasn't that excited about that. It's really, again, it comes to honesty. Like for stuff like that, honesty is super important.
It also feels like it's easier to talk about certain games. Like when I notice whenever I'm playing like games like Prison Architect, I naturally kind of just like talk to myself and build my own head lore about certain prisoners. But if I'm playing like, I don't know, some other story-based game, I find it a lot more difficult to talk about. Like when I was playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, I would just yap on about just dumb shit all the time, not necessarily talking about the game because like there's just not really that much to talk about. I'm riding a horse through a forest. But on Prison Architect or Kenshi, there's always something I can comment on and be like, oh, I got to improve this efficiency. Oh, why is this prisoner being a fucking asshole? Or going over to Kenji like, oh, I got to mine this shit. Or I'll have a whole bunch of different squads. So I can check on my drug dealers. I can check on my warriors who are training. There's lots of stuff to talk about, and it's like on topic with the game.
Right. Any game that really requires like any amount of like critical thinking is going to be a decent game to play, especially solo, because you can sort of, it is easier to just sort of, like, if you're just speaking your mind, it's going to be interesting.
And explaining the process.
Yeah.
That's what I find super easy with, like, XCOM.
Yeah.
Because it's like that critical thinking. You have to, like, plan out what you're going to do.
Right.
So I'm just kind of half thinking about what I'm saying, but mostly just kind of just projecting my thoughts without really focusing on the words I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely helps if you're also like not terrible at the game. So like
I'm just going to do this, I guess.
Yeah. Like you're very not sure what to do.
I feel like I could commentate EU4 pretty well at this point because I've got so many hours in the game. I kind of know how to do things and I know how to plan stuff out. Right. I found whenever I was teaching Carson how to play the game, I found that very easy experience.
Yeah. I really like, I'm thinking about like when I was playing, like I have that 7-hour stream of just archived of me playing, Dave the Diver. And I was pretty quiet during that stream. And realistically, I say stream, it was a recording. But like realistically, it was one of those things where it's like, there's a lot of things you do in that game that are repetitive, very grindy. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm going back into the water. I just need to get more fish. I'm like, waiting for an event to start so I can get a specific item in order to do it. But in order to do that, I need to pass some days. And like, why? I'm not going to waste, you can skip forward in time, but I'm not going to do that because I want more fish to keep the restaurant going. So I'm going to go get more fish. So like, there's not really anything to talk about. I'm just doing the same thing that I've been doing.
Getting fish again for the 43rd time.
Right. Which, like, in a game like that, it would be really chill to make videos or streams on if you have somebody else, like if you're playing it with someone else and you're just talking or having a conversation about the game or just about whatever, it would be more interesting. Or if it's like...
It's like B-roll for a podcast.
Yeah. Or if you're just like, I don't know, if you have a chat, if you're actually streaming and you have viewers, then you can interact with the chat, answer questions, kind of go over like what's your thought process on whatever this is, or like what's your plan for the future. That was something I wanted to say a second ago is like a big thing for streaming is setting goals. Like that's really, really important for viewers and for like retention because, if the viewers are kind of like, they're just kind of jumping in like, oh, what are they up to?
They're not working towards anything.
Yeah, if you're just kind of just, doing something.
45th time returning for fish.
Right.
Let's make it the 50th.
Yeah. But like if you immediately preface like, okay, we're gonna set this goal, like this is what we're going to try to do. So like the viewers are kind of anticipating like, okay, so we're building up to like them trying to accomplish this goal or whatever. That keeps people engaged, and it makes people more willing to like, interact with the stream. Hopefully,
that makes me think of streaming DayZ. I feel like that would be a really good, easy game to do with because like you could just set simple goals like find backpack, or find M4.
Right. Although then there's those moments when you're geared and you're just kind of wandering.
Mm-hmm.
So,
kill 10 players.
Yeah. I found that Tony Hawk Pro Skater is an awesome game to stream just because the whole game is like goal. It's literally jumping from goal to goal to goal to goal. So like I'm going to try to get skate, or I'm going to try to get all the helmets or whatever. I'm going to try to get all the fire hydrants, or I'll hit all the signs or whatever. Whatever it is, like the goal, like the next goal the game sets for you. It sets such specific goals that it just makes it easy to just play forever and talk about, which is cool.
It's also an already like really upbeat game with the music and the gameplay.
The music is everything in Tony Hawk games, and like for streaming, it's amazing because you're not going to get copyright striked for songs that are really good. So you can actually just like, I always have the music louder than the game itself, so I'm kind of just jamming most of the time, and then just kind of working towards whatever the next thing the goal I'm trying to do. I'm always looking for an item, to collect or whatever in that 2-minute window, or just actually actively going for that goal. It's fun. And I feel like there's got to be like categories like streamer friendly games and other games that are just not so streamer friendly. Because I mean, I'm sure that really good seasoned streamers, again, especially with viewers, are going to be able to play almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're alone or you're just kind of casually doing stuff, there really are some games that are just not great. Not optimal.
Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft is. But you can set goals in Minecraft, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just they take a long time, and they often are very
tedious
vague.
And repetitive.
Yeah. A lot of just kind of wandering through caves and stuff. The most exciting thing that happens is you die.
You're blown up. I lost all my diamonds. Yay.
Yeah. It's better. Minecraft is better for, like, recording videos, I think. Just, like, kind of just telling a story as you go. But yeah, that's it. We gotta go.
Yay, back to hell.
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Well, it is Friday.
Yeah.
Well, see you then.
Bye. Bye. Lunch break. It's Friday.
It's Friday. Happy Friday.
Yeah. Friday's epic.
I'm very excited for the work to end. I've got a lot of cooking stuff I want to do.
Yeah. What are you making?
Beef rigatoni? I don't know what you would call it. It's a delicious lean beef with
advanced hamburger helper.
Yeah, super advanced hamburger helper. It's got like onions and garlic and shit. It's going to be perfectly seasoned. Delicious cheesy sauce. I'm going to get some Ritz crackers and some breadcrumbs and toss that shit in butter and cover the top of it and bake it so it'll be like crunchy as fuck.
Very nice.
There'll be like multiple layers of cheese. There's like a cheese sauce that's going to go in it, but at the very top there'll be like fresh shredded cheese, so it'll be crusty and cheesy and hearty and beefy.
We're gonna die.
We are gonna die.
It sounds like it's gonna be so rich and powerful that I'm wondering if we want something else. Like, if that's all we're gonna eat on Friday. I don't know.
It should be enough, but we could also. I'm down to get more things.
Well, how much beef are you putting in there?
2 pounds.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really maybe beefy. It won't matter. I think it sounds like it's gonna be hearty.
Mm-hmm. Lots of beef, lots of noodles, lots of cheese, everything you need. Protein, fat, and carbs.
Right. Sounds cool.
All my archery stuff finally got here yesterday.
Yeah. You have your bow?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it.
I can show you later. I'll show you and Matt later. But I spent 4 hours yesterday just doing archery.
Nice. Yeah. How was it? Was it like that's a long time too? I know you were gone for ages.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of wondering what the hell. Because you sent a photo of your arrows and the target and shit.
Yeah,
and then you were still gone for like another 2 hours or something after that.
Yeah, I kept shooting after that.
Yeah.
I went to the archery range at the park near me, and it's completely empty. So I spent there just 4 hours. I had the whole range to myself. It was very, very, very nice. I got to the point where instead of just having a general vibe of where the arrow is going to go, I can kind of specifically target like a big area. So like I used to just be like, oh, I can actually hit the target. Now I can actually get my arrows on the the bullseye like target. Like there's a big target and then there's a target in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I can't like specifically aim at the target in the middle, but I can be like, I'm going to hit that target and then kind of have confidence that I will.
Right.
But holy fuck, I'm so fucking sore.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you did it for a very long time, especially after like you don't really do that.
I just never done archery before, but I was sore afterwards. Like I got home and I was like stiff and sore already. I was like, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow.
Yeah,
it hurts to like do this. It hurts to clench my fist. I feel it in my sides.
Right,
which is very strange.
Man, what sucks is like all I'm thinking about is like that does sound super fun, but I feel like if I was to go with you, it would just sort of fuck it up a little bit. Like I would just be in your way.
I don't think so. Unless there's multiple people there, the range is quite large, and there's more than one 10-yard target.
Huh. All right.
And I don't think we necessarily have to follow archery etiquette while no one else is there.
And so, and how far away is this? Like, relatively?
It's the park, like 10 minutes from our house.
Okay.
You go there. Oh, you've been there before.
Yeah. I just wanted to get a reference for the distance there. That sounds cool. I would have to get a bow. I probably would just go with a recurve, like right off the bat too, because that's honestly that sounds like the most fun to me. Just even owning a nice bow and nice arrows again sounds like it'd be super cool. And the idea of like just like zoning out and just fucking focusing on trying to hit that target, it does sound really, really good.
Strangely enough, I found like the quality of thought that I got from it similar to whenever I'm doing like long distance running. It wasn't as intense as that, but it was quite similar. And I found myself thinking about Star Wars and coming about like weird conclusions about Star Wars while plucking arrows.
Yeah. I mean, it just sounds like a really fun sort of like brain exercise mixed with like a little bit of a Zen state. You're kind of you're consistently going in and out of a state of like intense focus, and then like the period in between where you're just kind of like adjusting or like kind of like analyzing what you did and trying to make adjustments to it.
I know that breath work plays a lot into like meditation and stuff, and I kind of found the archery a bit of a breath work. I feel like that may have played into the clarity of thought I was having, but literally every time I pull back, I always take a breath. It's like a big and then release.
Yeah.
And I would do that every time. And I don't know how many times I shot arrows. I had to do it at least over 100 times.
Yeah. Yeah. God, that really does sound like super chill. How much was your bow?
It was $80.
That's not bad at all.
All things together were about $250.
Okay. Yeah. Shit, dude. Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of as to a reason why I'm hesitant to even jump in is just how time consuming it is.
Oh yeah, it definitely is a time sink.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to, do it a lot, you're never going to improve at it. And it's probably just kind of a waste of time. But I think archery has been something that I've been passionate about and interested in for a very long time, at least mid-high school. I remember getting super deep into the Ranger's Apprentice series and always wanting like, oh, that sounds cool. I want to fire an arrow, but I never had like a reason to do it other than I want to do it.
Right.
I have a coworker who's like, you want to shoot arrows with me? I'm like, jumped on it immediately.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I would really enjoy it. I guess I kind of want to wait and see how you kind of feel about it. If you keep this up for like weeks on weeks and weeks and stuff, and you continue to be like, you don't feel like this is like, I'm kind of, there's a part of me that's like vaguely anticipating a moment when you're going to be like, yeah, it's just too much time. Like,
I'm definitely in the honeymoon period right now.
Yeah, right. Because I feel like I would be more interested in that if I had like a backyard and I could just literally like, get home from work, grab my bow, go in the backyard.
Oh yeah.
Shoot it, do that for like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe 2, whatever it may be. And then just immediately walk back in and get to work doing something else.
If we didn't live as close as we did to this park, I wouldn't consider it at all.
Right. 10 minutes isn't too bad. But it is like it is a little tiny hurdle. Like even a drive to the gym is kind of a pain in the ass. Like like the idea of like the fact that we can get to the gym here and we can just walk to it makes all the difference in the world. But like the hurdle of like, okay, well I got to move. Like I got to drive like 10 minutes to go to the gym. And suddenly it's like, I don't really want to do that. That's bad.
I feel like if with any exercise or any discipline, the walk to getting to it is often the hardest part mentally, because you're just like, so many excuses why you shouldn't do it. But then the moment you start doing it, they all just fade away into dust.
Exactly. Dude, I feel that that's how I've been feeling about reading. Like reading my freaking book. What's so crazy is every time I start reading it, I get super immersed and I'm very happy to be reading it, and I'm like, this is great. And then I don't want to put it down. But because I procrastinate starting reading so late, like I start it, like I wait so long before I do it that every single time when I have to stop, I'm like, damn it. Like I don't want to stop, but I have to like go to bed like right now, or like I need to do this or that or whatever. It's intensely frustrating. And it's like every single time, I'm like, why didn't I just do this sooner? Like I wanted to do this. Every single time I do it, I enjoy it. But just like that weird like, you had to break through this thing to get through it to actually start doing it.
I wonder what the evolutionary purpose of that, because I feel like it's unique, or not unique, but it's a common thing with everything, like exercise or anything, doing work, any kind of reading, even if it's stuff that you enjoy doing.
Yeah, I really don't know. I really, really don't know.
It just reminds me how like humans are like one of the most adaptable species on Earth. It takes us like 2 weeks to adapt to things, but we're so at the same time we're incredibly hesitant to ever do it, and it's the most pain in the ass thing for us ever. Like, no, I don't want to adapt to anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
Would you like to talk about Star Wars?
Sure. I know you've been upset. I haven't even thought about Star Wars in ages. I just know you've had like a Star Wars brain for a while.
I guess we've been watching Andor, and then
I guess that is. I don't even think of Andor as Star Wars. I really don't. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's a completely different thing. Like in my head, they're completely separate. It's
the only thing. It is different to everything Star Wars has ever produced. Honestly, with the dialogue, I feel like it's more akin to the original series, like the original 3 movies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I was thinking about like how the Jedi Council were able to like seek out Palpatine, and the 2 big reasons I think of is, one, Palpatine is a master of, I forget the Force ability, I call it like Force Shadow, but it has 2 powerful abilities. He can project the dark side onto other people to cloud their true sight if they're if like they're part of the light side, or if they don't have any force abilities at all, it can just cloud their mind and make them confused with things. But it also has a second very powerful function where he can suppress his dark side energy to other people.
Right.
There's a quote from the novelization of Episode 3 where Darth Plagueis, who was Darth Sidious's master, talked about how even with him, before he knew how powerful he was, he would be surprised at how Palpatine could sneak up on him. Because he was really adept at picking out any force sensibilities with anyone. So Palpatine could just, get up behind him. So that's reason 1. But then also reason 2 was Master Yoda being in charge of the Jedi Council and their obsession with the idea of the Ruler 2.
Mm-hmm.
So Yoda survived the whole Sith-Jedi war that happened like 1,000 years previously.
Right.
And then for the next 1,000 years, there would only ever be 2 Siths, the rule of 2. And whenever they were learning about the new Sith, the only names that they could find were Darth Maul and Darth Tyrannus, who was Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Eventually, they found out that Count Dooku and Darth Tyrannus were the same person, but by then it was too late. Yeah. So whenever they heard of Darth Sidious, they were like, the rule of 2, it's Darth Tyrannus and Darth Maul. There can't be a third one.
Right.
But it turns out later, oh shit, Darth Tyrannus and Count Dooku are the same fucking person.
Yeah.
But by then, Order 66 is like a couple days away.
Right. Yeah, and I do think it's worth mentioning that like in the old lore, the Jedi Temple was like an abandoned Sith temple, and like that was like, and I guess. I don't know what's canon anymore. I don't even know if the book you just referenced is canon anymore.
The book I did is Disney canon.
Okay, cool.
But the thing you're talking about comes from Legends canon.
Right.
Which is like, I don't know, Disney pick and chooses from that which is canon. Because when they first bought Star Wars, they were like, none of it's canon. But then they brought back Thrawn, who is from Legends.
Right. It makes a lot of sense to say that like he was drawing from that temple and like was able to use that, or like the temple itself was masking his presence. But it also does it makes sense to say that like there are specialties among masters, you know, like not like just because you have you're a master Jedi or you're a master Sith doesn't mean that like you're gonna fall into different categories of your mastery. And like Sith being like unique in that way, or Palpatine focusing on that those capabilities does make a lot of sense. But
it reminds me of the difference between like masters like Ki-Adi-Mundi versus Mace Windu, or like Mace Windu versus Obi-Wan. They're all completely different Jedis with their own different focuses on force abilities and lightsaber forms.
Right. It's also like, I mean, I guess in the actual lore, like there was many generations of Jedi and many generations of Sith, but like, and I'm assuming they studied those, but like in my head, I'm like thinking there hasn't really been that many, or like there's not been that many masters. So like the broadness of like what a master is like capable of is still kind of unknown, if that makes any sense. But I figured,
yeah, that stuff is more explored in like Legends. But again, who knows if it's
gone,
canon or
right?
not.
So yeah, I don't know. I do find that interesting though. Man, Star Wars, like the lore of Star Wars is so cool, but it breaks my heart to think about it. Like just getting into it, because I'm like, it's never going to be the same. They're never going to embrace this stuff again, and they're I don't know. They turned it into something that I wish it wouldn't. I wish it wasn't.
Yeah, it's just another corporate product now to be milked and make much money as possible from as many people.
Entirely aimed at kids. Like there's like they try to do little things, like even like The Mandalorian was, I guess, supposed to be a little half and half.
It was like a family show.
Yeah, like a family show. And then obviously Andor, they're trying to aim it more at adults. But like I said, Andor, because especially in the timeline where it is, and like just the setting for the show, it really doesn't feel like Star Wars. And the guy that fucking is doing it isn't even a Star Wars fan. Like he doesn't even watch Star Wars shit.
The director?
Yeah, he's not even paying attention to it. So it really does feel like something completely different, which is great. And I think that's how things should have been, but it wasn't to begin with. It feels like Dune now is going to kind of fill a void.
Oh yeah,
you know, like because it takes it's definitely an adult show or adult movie.
Do you know when the next movie comes out?
I don't. I'm also really nervous because I'm really nervous about how they're going to try to do what happens next in those books.
I guess the next movie will be about book 2, because wasn't the first 2 movies all just book 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because at the end of book 1, he had already met the Fremen, and he was already like kind of getting integrated into their society and everything, and that didn't happen until the second movie. I think he only like they only like hinted or teased to him worm riding at the very end of the second movie. So yeah, definitely.
God, it has the possibility to be a fucking like one of the best movies ever.
Yeah. Especially if they go all the way and get to the empires, like the proper empires, it would be insane. It would be incredible. But even getting there, like getting off planet Dune in the lore, there's so much shit happens between then and there that I don't even know how they're going to do it. Like in visualizing it must be insane. So, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do. They've been really faithful so far. It's been good. So hopefully they do a good job. But
Timothée Chalamet still kills it. He's a really good actor.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. We do got to go, but it's Friday, and I am very happy that it's Friday. My work has been. Did I even talk about work?
I don't think we did.
No, but dude, it's been a horrible nightmare audit crap. It's been horrible, terrible, nightmarish, and when I go back, it's going to be the same. It's been so bad, but it's whatever. It's Friday. It's about to be over. It's almost the end. So.
Beef rigatoni. Yay.
Yeah. Yay. But anyway, bye.